Hi everyone, this is Leonard Smith from Sense Memory. Stay tuned, it's time for the British. So, as in the past, as I've said, these are not necessarily my absolute favorite fragrances, but they're interesting fragrances and I'd like to share them with you. And a few of them are favorite British fragrances. So let's get on with it. The first one up is from the House of Yardley, which has been around forever and very famous for their lavender fragrances. But this is Yardley Gentleman Elite. Now, my impressions on this one are Savile Row Barbershop has a no-nonsense charm. The next one up is, now this will be controversial because it's a French house, but it began as a British house. And so I often think of it as British in its soul. And this particular fragrance was made for the Prince of Wales, not the current Prince of Wales, but the Prince of Wales who became the Duke of Windsor. And this is Royal Mayfair by Creed. This is one of my favorite fragrances. And I'm not a big fan of Creed per se, but this one is beautiful. And what I get from this is suave, elegant, sublime. It's class. On with the next. The next fragrance is from Naughton and Wilson, and it's the beautiful Gravitas. There's the bottle. And my impressions of this fragrance, let's spray it. London at Night, a modern classic, regal and intelligent. The next fragrance is from Atkinson's, and this is a house that was reestablished after many, many years of not producing anything. It reestablished about 2013 or so. And this one is Old Bond Street. And 24 Old Bond Street is a reference to the original address of the original Atkins in the 18th century. And what I get from this, I get elegant, classic, smart set, and old Eton school tie. It really is beautiful. Next, we have another one from Atkinson's, and this is Odd Fellows Bouquet. And they really do have beautiful bottles. Now, my impression, oh, this one's fun. My impression from this one is a spice caravan Oriental with a little hint of A&W root beer. Really, it does have a root beer kind of smell to it. I love that. Takes me back to summer. Next, we move on to the House of Penhaligons, and this is Ostara. And this is a favorite of mine. And this fragrance is rich, thick, smoky sex. And we're going to stay within the house of Penhaligons, move on to the next one, which is Agarbathi. Isn't that beautiful bottles? They really do make beautiful bottles, and each one has a little bow tie. And this fragrance, what I get from this one, fleeting glances across a dark room, a nod to Arabia, sophisticated, subtle. Next up, we have a last one from the House of Penhaligons, and this is from the Portraits collection, and it's Sohan, and there's the wonderful bottle with the hawk head on top. It was kind of Egyptian. Anyway, what are my impressions of this one? Leather and cocktails. Really delicious. Next, we're moving to one of my absolute favorite houses from England, and that is the House of Floris. This is Victorious by Floris, and my impressions of this one are as follows. Regency style. The rolling hills in the English countryside around Bath. And Georgian architecture. It really is a classic smell. We're still within the House of Floris, and the next one is something that's very special. This is for Spencer Hart, Palm Springs, and I've reviewed this one before, and it's a favorite of mine. And what I get from this one, mid-century elegance, Frank Sinatra's Desert House in Palm Springs, the Rat Pack. It has a lot of glamour packed into it, and still a classic barbershop kind of fragrance, really beautiful. Next, we're going to the early 60s with the House of Floris, and this is 1962. This one, 1962, makes me think of Scandalous Romance in Rome. It's daring, bright, and very sexy. Now we're going to the House of George F. Trumper, and this is Eucris, created in 1912, and the bottle certainly shows that creative look of the bottles in that early part of the 20th century, early part of the 20th century. And this is not a spray, so I have to be very careful in getting it out. Diamonds Are Forever. This was mentioned in that book as a fragrance that James Bond wore. It has class, distinction, style. It really is an amazing fragrance. I really, really love this one. And as you can see, it's kind of hard to get that little screw top back on there. Anyway, there it is. And last on the list is one of my absolute favorites, and it's from the House of Floris, and it's number 89. I have this also in their shower gel, and so I put it on in the shower, and after the shower, I put this on and go all day. And it's a magnificent fragrance, one of their best and one of the most popular. There's only one thing I can say about this fragrance. It's the real Bond, James Bond. Ian Fleming's favorite fragrance. So there you have my nod to my British collection, and I really enjoyed working on this one. It was a really fun one to do. And up next will be the Americans. So this is Lanier Smith saying, remember, wear what you love and not what they say you should like. Cheers.